Hi guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars. We are back in the workshop here. What's going on? Well, it's Sport 200 times, guys. If you've been following us and the subscription to us, you would have seen this coming together quite quickly actually. It's only been a couple of weeks that we've been into the build, and now she's on the ground. We've actually done the geo this morning, so it's hard to show everything that goes on, but she's got her eyelids, as we say. So on the front here we've got all the billet front upright on, we've got the discs on, which are cross-driven groove, the Willwood 4-pot calipers, our billet front uprights, billet bearing carriers, all of that. We've got our headlight brackets here that are mounted, and with the indicators built into the headlight bracket here, with your standard H4 bulbs with side light, high beam, all of that in there for you. Just some wiring that we've got to finish up on that side of things. All the geo's been done, the front end's been done, geo's been done, so the ride height's been set on the vehicle now. So we've got the rake in the car, tracking's been done, front wings have been bonded on. One little job left to do is for IVA, is to put the indicators just in the side of your wings there for you. Steering column has gone in, that's all in now. So we've got our Go Race 1, which is a nice quick release, very nice bit of kit actually, and just fits in there quite nicely. All in. We've got a mock-up on the dashboard, that's in as well. Got that done with the gauges. It's got to be wrapped yet, but you can see further forward there. It's got our nice branded gauges in here with our dashboards, a laser cut panel here, ignition key, all your standard black gauges, and say this will be in a carbon wrap anyway. It's going to look very, very smart. Just this little toggle switch for your indicators, which is quite neat and tidy actually. You can use these for indicators, but I find them a bit fiddly. Just when you're driving, just a little toggle switch is nice. All the gear levers gone in. This is really nice, as you can see, to change gear. Super light, it's a one finger touch, literally that's all you need on this to make it work. It's all on bearings, front and rear here, with a drop down linkage which is adjustable in the ratios. That's all in with the aluminium rods gone in. Prop shaft all in, as you can see from last week. Seats have been fitted as well. These have been fitted into the vehicle and got the seat runners on them. This is on the lowered floor, which if you're wondering why this is looking much lower than normal, because normally the harness holes is sort of up here. It's quite a bit lower because it's 40mm drop internally on the floor pan. And now we're on with all the rear ends done. That's all on. It's got temporary wheels on these, so hashtag Peter, don't stress, they are going to be the right colour wheels for you. These are just the mock-up wheels that we put on it to get it on the ground and geoed. Your wheels are in powder coat as we speak, so we'll do a little colour reveal on that. It's going to look pretty smart. So coming together quite nicely on the ground. Next up is final wiring the engine harness side of it to then start it. She's got coolant in her, she's got oil in her, and then we've just got to do the final wiring, which will be then mounted to the ECU under this panel. The battery will also mount under here because everything else is all done, all the auxiliaries are done. And then once we've got it fired, we'll start working the way towards the back, which is we've put on here. It's got a built-in reflector, which is a requirement for IVA. It's got a reverse light, got the indicator, got a brake and tail light all in one unit. And then I think we're going to be doing a central fog light on this one with some number plate lights in there as well. So it's looking rather sharp actually. Black on black, going to be very stealthy this car. Black on black with a touch of a different colour on it as well on the wheels and some other little features. So it's coming together. Not even, I think we're about day 9, like day 10, I think, if I remember rightly, in total in touch time on this particular vehicle. So they come together quite quickly, and it's not beyond the standard toolbox that you have in your garage here to put these cars together. There is some little bit of trimming here and there, which we spoke about in bodywork on other videos. Might need a little bit of trickiness there to do the bodywork cutting out there, but that's about the most fiddliest sort of job to fit them there. And with the wiring the way we do it, it's a plug and play loom. You can use a standard bike loom, and a couple of customers have. You've got to have your wits about you. You've got to modify the loom and look out for other little sensors that can cause you some error codes as well. So if you're going down that route, you may need to speak to someone about that and a loom modification. If not, just get the plug and play loom, bolt it in like we do with the sport cars or the Cup 200 cars, and it works straight away. No worry about sensors and deleting them out of your ECU, etc. as well. That's it. Right, let's move on. What's next? Right, next up is exactly what it says there, a K20 RX5. So if you have followed us for a little while, a couple of years at least, you would have seen the build of this particular one, and there's actually a video on this, I think, isn't there, Lewis, out there, which we may shout another link out on, maybe up there somewhere. What do you reckon? Put it up here somewhere, put another link up on there with a little test drive we did on this car. It's also been in their magazine. Cracking little car, hashtag Simon's car. Come in, was it in for just a bit of a service really, ready, refresh for the spring. A couple of things it's had done. Wing mirrors have been changed, so what it had originally was these particular ones, which are the IVA spec mirrors that we put on all the vehicles, but we wanted something a bit more stylish that's a bit easier if he removes the doors, that it stays on. So we've mounted the F1 style mirror, if you want to call it, actually to the stanchion, so we can still open the door, get in and out, but if you take the doors off you've still got a mirror in situ. But originally these were mounted to the door here, which are going to get covered up, and they're all good. So that's one thing. It's had a good service. So under here, oil filter plugs, all of that, because has been a couple of years since we built it. He's done a few miles in it, and it was good to have a refresh. But super still, tidy engine bay. He had it all nicely ceramic coated on the exhaust, which is very smart looking. And I think it made about if I remember, it was about 238 horsepower. I think this was, or somewhere in that region. Plenty. I've driven this car. Goes really well, just super comfortable road car. It's got padded heated seats in it, it's got the weather pack, it's got windshields, it's got all of that, but it's also got the VTEC note to go with it. So super nice car to drive. I know Simon loves it, absolutely. He's put some miles on it, which is good. And then the next job was, well, lights really. So he's got the free wheel, which will pop off actually. Now we can do this. So we had headlights on, so we've gone now for the LED light on this one, which is normally a standard, this type of bulb is normally on them, and we've got main beam, headlights, all off, all working as well. We haven't got the indicators, so you can do indicators in these as well. They do have indicator facility, but because he's got them here, he didn't require it, so they put the indicator on and off on there as well, left and right. And it's nice that they look, you know, and you can just have your daylight running light, which is quite cool actually. And well, looks pretty spot. He's actually got a little thing here for his camera. Look at that, just noticed that. Little camera on for putting his GoPro on. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Looks great that, doesn't it? What's not to like? What's not to like? So yeah, he's looking forward to getting that back. It's all done, ready for him now, and can throw a bucket of water over it and get ready for the spring. Moving on from K20, love that car, as you know, to what we have here, which is a Mach 1. Very similar, lots of history, lots of articles on this about a Mach 1, and it's, yes, it was sort of devised on an MK classic style chassis, Mach 1 being Mark and Colin, as it was known. Came in, what's that in for? Well, it's had a roll cage fitted, so the customer wanted to keep the existing hoop on the rear, which we did. He's quite a tall chap, hence the reason for these particular bars being higher than normal, because he is quite tall, to put this cage in for him to make him feel a bit safer. That's all bolted in, and we kept everything existing on the rear, so it's nice and neat and tidy from his existing panels yet, and to have to modify anything. And then, right, next up then is the engine bay side of things. So originally this had, let's have a look here in the box, it had this, which is a paddle shift. Looks quite homemade. What do you reckon? I think it's been a laser cut piece that's been bent then and sort of gouged out. Well, this was on here, customer didn't like that, and I can see why, because it had a cable and it's quite draggy. So now we've put in a nice gear lever system, so on a billet gear lever, nice and short, nice and smooth, really easy. Again, I like the one finger to change gear, nice and light. On a rocker mechanism here, down, and you do have the right way round, so that's first, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then down, 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 and that's up, up, up. So quite like that, nice and neat. Super happy with that. A couple of little service things we had to do. Notice that the fuel line was completely perished. So if you do the eyes over the winter, check those. Little thing that was quite perished. And the next major job was the billet pedal box. So we had to cut out all the standard laser cut pedals, which are down there, and then insert one of our billet pedal boxes in there. That's what came out. There we go. Let's have a look. That was your standard sort of laser cut basic pedal, which, yeah, everybody's done that years ago, but we kind of moved away from that. Also gives him a bit more space in here because the pedals are quite further forward. So, and on this one, the customer actually surprised, this is a hydraulic clutch instead of a cable for a fire blade. Now normally they're cable operated, but we've got a little mechanism that runs through a pipe here. Can't see it, but just down in there's a little hydraulic clutch slave just stuck into there. Really neat bit of kit actually. Just got to do a little test drive on this one to make sure it all works, but the clutch seems to work. We've tried that. Something I've never seen before, being that small. We usually use a wheelwood one, so that's going to be good. The next thing to do is really test drive this because the brakes have been bled up. They're all done on the bias adjustable, throttle's in, clutch is all working, so we can test out the gear linkage, get all that done, get him ready for the spring. Right, next up is this particular car, hashtag Russell's car. Again, if you've been seeing builds, and there's quite a big video actually that Lewis put out about me dropping it down a gear or two on this one, because this will make you smile. This car is awesome. It's got such a great induction noise on it. It's absolutely awesome. It's got a beautiful 2-litre Duratec in here. I can't remember their numbers on it. It was well north of 250 horsepower, mated to a Mazda 5-speed gearbox, and Russell's built the car at home, done a cracking job, and you're thinking, why is it all apart then? Well, had an aero screw in it, now wants to, with his kids, take it out, so we're going to put a windscreen, we're going to put the wipers on it, we're going to put the washer bottle kit on it and everything else. That side of things, that's going to be going in. And then new number plates, because he's actually had it, a new little number plate made for it, which I think is super cool. How good's that? MY71NDY. Very, very cool. So he's got that registered on this particular one. It's already registered, but that's a pretty cool number plate to have, I must say. So we get that done. We literally just bonded in the panel, getting the motor fixed in there. That's why the scuttle's all off. But yeah, this thing on chat. Have we got some video of this, Lewis, haven't we, somewhere? Send another link up, Lewis, because it sounds amazing, this one. Great car, great build, super quick. Mazda gearbox in it is delicious, and we're on with a build soon, doing a 2-litre Duratec with a Mazda gearbox, so super excited about it, because it's just a combination that works really well. Right guys, there's nothing better than being wrapped in quality streets of cars. Look at it. It's like being in a tin of cars. Absolutely love it. Whether it's a Duratec car, a Mazda Turbo, or a booster engine car, we can deliver all of them for you. So if you want to know information, hook up Andy or Neil, phone call, email, or come and see us here at the factory. Don't forget some of the events that are coming up now. Open day has moved because we're now at the Practical Classic Car Show at the NEC of the weekend, the 23rd of March. You'll get to see this car there, and then we've moved our open day. That'll be one of 2 we're only doing this year. That will be the April the 6th on the weekend, so hopefully the weathers will be there. No April showers for that one. Love to see you come and visit us. That's it guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you next week.